Hi, my name is Nick. I'm a retired IPF powerlifter under the 59 kg weight category. I'm an Asian deadlift record holder, as well as a IPF World Championships deadlift gold medalist back in 2018. And right now I'm retired and I don't have any plans of competing any longer. I'm totally retired, so I'm out of the game. A little bit of a backstory of why I'm out of the game. It's more because like it has a lot to do with my health. All those like those like times when I went out and compete, it really did some damages onto my health lah. So that's why I made the decision to just like stop competing. Because
Okay.
I don't think I want to continue damaging my health for the sake of powerlifting,
So as you all know, the reason that I invite Nick today is because he is an expert in sumo deadlift.
I beg to differ, bro. I don't think I'm an expert sumo deadlifter, bro. I think you also have a pretty good form. Not
Okay.
pretty good form. You have a very good form. Okay, shout out Strength Dojo.
Okay, today's episode we're gonna talk about deadlift. When we talk about deadlift, the classic version of deadlift is called conventional deadlift, which is the
Your
standard.
legs are in, bro.
Sorry?
Conventional deadlifts got your legs are in, bro.
Yeah.
Instead of
That's why I
your
say
legs
conventional deadlift is the standard deadlift where your feet are in and your arms are upside, just slightly outside of your legs. And
we are the hips out boys. We
yeah.
are the hips don't lie.
The concept of deadlift is basically tighten your back muscles. Okay, you lift the weight up using your legs. Okay, most people thought that deadlift is using your low back or back.
Yeah.
But actually, it uses a lot of your lower body more.
Yeah.
And the most important thing about deadlift is always to keep your back straight during the whole movement. If you can't keep your back straight, you will have a lot of injuries in the long run. And we have a variation called sumo deadlift. Okay, sumo deadlift is basically a wide version of. Actually, it's not really a wide version of conventional. It's a wider setting of a deadlift.
Why? So wider variation, bro.
Yeah, wider variation, but not wider conventional. It's actually different. So today we're gonna
also it's another way for people who are in powerlifting to cheat better.
Cheat better.
Cheat.
Yeah. So most of people that live with sumo can achieve more upright position compared to deadlift. Correct?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. It depends on their flexibility and then also positioning work.
And also leverages lah.
Yeah,
leverages. Yeah.
Some people have shorter arms, longer limbs and all that. Since you are expert in deadlift, sumo deadlift for years, so why do you choose sumo as your main deadlift?
It didn't happen like on the first day of like me deadlifting. Actually, I was a conventional deadlifter way back. I think I just stumbled upon this video of someone. I think Dan Green. I think Dan Green was like one of my first few like main inspirations when it comes to like sumo deadlifting. But like if you look at Dan Green, he's not particularly upright. He uses like a lot of back as well. Like if you look at it properly, like if you look at it closely, relatively upright still. It's just that it's not as upright as someone compared to someone like for instance Dmitry Nasunov or like Yuri Belkin. Those people like that, they're like super upright already, right? So and then I looked at Dan Green sumo deadlifting. I was like, wow, maybe I should try this out. And like so I transitioned to sumo deadlifting, and I just saw my numbers like exploding lah. And I was still a newbie. I think I was like 16 years old. I pulled like I think like 172.5 I think. a first try sumo deadlift, but obviously it was with shitty form, gym bro style, you know. It's like, so yeah, I think that was my early introduction to like sumo deadlifting lah. Okay, when it comes to like sumo deadlifting, I'm more technique savvy compared to like conventional deadlift, because there's so much, like it's so limited. There's like for conventional, for me, I think it's just three. My cues are, there's only 3 cues for me when it comes to conventional deadlift. It's just like brace, pull the slide, and wedge in. That's pretty much it. But for sumo, I have like tons of cues that I have to like remind myself when I'm gonna deadlift, you know. So it's a very technical lift, and I think I enjoy that, because like I have to keep reminding myself like, okay, you need to do this, you need to do this next, to ensure that I get in the same positioning every time, you know. And also, if you look at me, for those who have seen me in real life, my arms are really long. Like my arms are really long. It's like and like I also have the hip mobility for sumo, and it's just like, that's just perfect. That's like I have long arms and I have the mobility in my hips, so it's like, why not make use of this advantage, you know, so that I can pull more, you know. Like I think if I train consistently with convi, I think I can pretty much match my sumo, because without even training my convi is actually still pretty strong. It's just that I don't train convi at all, because there's no use for me, because I'm so upright when it comes to my sumo, that it doesn't transfer anything to my well, if I'm doing convi, it doesn't transfer anything to my sumo lah. A lot of people like to deny this particular like aspect of powerlifting. Like hard work is one thing, but genetics also plays a huge role in the sport, you know. It's like I said, I have really long arms, and I have the mobility, I have the hip mobility for the sumo deadlift. So theoretically, it's easier for people like me to deadlift, you know. It like we have more advantage basically. Like you also, I think you have rather long arms, and you have the hip mobility as well.
I think my arms are pretty short.
No, I think your arms are pretty long, man.
For me, I work a lot of my hip mobility more to achieve my uprightness.
I think, okay, so before this, me and Faris used to train with each other. There's this one night, we just decided to do like rack pulls. Like we ended up like pulling like 300. You remember that day?
Yeah, I remember.
Why I said that your arms are pretty long, right, is because like when you did the rack pull, you're pretty much like you moved like not even an inch, bro. Like, because I still maybe had like a decent 1 inch to like pull, but you like it's like Haris's ROM, bro.
It depends. I mean my limbs as well. I have shorter limbs, I think.
Yeah. When I saw you pull that rack pull, I'm like, wow, you still have long arms. I don't know why you like I think you just don't like deadlifting compared to all your other lifts.
True.
I think you can. I think you're like, your numbers are pretty like really good already. It's just that you don't. I know for a fact that you don't like deadlifting as much as your bench and
squat more.
Squat. I know you like squat. It's like if you have a chance to like push away your deadlift session, I know that you will because you don't like deadlifting.
Yeah, true. Do you think that everyone can achieve the same uprightness like you did?
At the end of the day, I think it depends on your it depends on comfortability lah. I don't think like if you're comfortable in using that specific technique, then stick to that. I mean, I think there's no use like trying to making improvements to your technique when it's not really comfortable for you. I mean, it's certain in certain times I think it would benefit you, but like at the end of the day, it's about comfort. If you're comfortable in that position, then stick to that. But when the time comes for you to make certain like improvements to your lift, right? With that being said, like you have to like change how you move, where your position. Then that's also something that you should consider lah. Like comfort is number one, but like if you have to change your positioning in order to lift better, then yeah, you also have to consider about that as well.
And also, I think it depends on how long you train sumo as well. Like, especially if you are convi lifter, and then you want to change to sumo, you can't expect to progress in sumo for a few months. I mean, for like
it takes a lot of time.
It takes a lot of time. Yeah.
It takes a lot of time.
Most of people, they change to sumo, don't feel good, but actually
then they change back.
Yeah, then they change back.
Yeah, then they change back. And then like it needs the purpose,
You should have like a main deadlift position. I mean variation. Either convi or sumo. You just make them as a main, and then the secondary should be either conventional or sumo.
Yeah.
Focus on that.
I think a lot of people don't know this. I think you know lah, because we're relatively close to each other. So I started like deadlifting at the age of 16. So I've worked on my positioning for almost to get to my current positioning right now. It took me about like, I'd say, a good 2-3 years.
Wow.
Just to get in my current positioning.
I see.
Yeah, I mean there were a lot of mistakes along the way, but like it took, all in all, it took 2-3 years.
2-3 years
to get my current positioning lah, per se.
By current positioning, what do you mean by that? Is it like the most upright as possible, like the closest to the bar?
Yeah. I think I can still pretty much like touch up a little bit, but I think I'm maxed out already. Like I don't think I can get any more upright. Yeah.
If you guys want to know, you can check his deadlift video.
I pretty much maxed out already. I don't think I can be any more upright, because I think I can touch up and make it look better. It's just that I cannot.
So like your priority is the position lah. So let's say like at certain numbers, at certain weight, but when you pull that weight, you can't achieve the uprightness. What do? You just back off the weights, or like?
I don't think I've ever experienced that. Like, I don't think I have. My form has never broken down on me while in training. It's because partly the reason why that doesn't happen to me is because I make sure to prevent that from happening, instead of like finding a cure for every single time that your technique breaks down on you. I think you should be focusing on like preventing yourself from ever getting into that position. So for me, like, I just need to do like a lot of pause work. I'm pretty sure you've seen me do like crazy like pauses before, right? So like, I know for a fact that I do pause work, and I don't need to like stress at the fact that my technique will my technique would have the chance of breaking down on me. So I do pauses to prevent myself from my technique breaking down on me lah.
What's the most common problem or mistake that you can see from people who's been doing sumo, especially to those who competed in powerlifting?
Stretching to get into a better positioning, like in terms like to get a better mobility for your hips, is like pretty much like, to me, I think it's like I don't do that, because like I think I can do better exercises in order for me to help myself get into to achieve that kind of hip mobility. There are better exercise selections. Stretching it's very temporary. It's a very temporary thing. So stretching to make your hips like go out, you know, like that frog stretch, the one that, I used to do a lot of those, and I thought that it was something that could have helped me to get into a better position, but I was wrong. There are some benefits to stretching. It's just that stretching is it's a very temporary thing. So it's like it gives you that release temporarily, but it's not like a permanent fix. What you should be looking into is like actually, like, I don't want to say forcing, but actually like practicing your hips to get into that position, and also strengthening the muscles surrounding your hips. The reason why I said that is because like you want the muscles surrounding your hips to be able to tahan that load when you deadlift, you know. So you want to practice to get into that positioning, and as well as like strengthening the muscles surrounding your hips so that you can hold. You know, you can hold the load. That's pretty much it. Like, I think that's the solution to get like more upright. Yeah.
It's not about how many times you stretch. People
Yeah.
There's a misconception that it's not about how many yoga things.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, that's true.
It's like, not about that. It's about strengthening to get into that position, right?
Yes, exactly. So that's one of the things that I've learned throughout my years of like trying to figure out how to get more upright lah. I think that's one of the best like advices that I can give. And also one more thing is that to get into an upright position per se, I think you have to focus at the bottom portion of the lift. You know, it's not like the middle or like the top, but if you focus all of your efforts into the bottom portion of the lifts, that upright position per se, in the remaining part of the lift lah. Yeah, so in the starting position, so that's why I say bottom part of the lift lah. So the stronger the bottom portion of your lift in a relatively upright position, the better you'll pull lah.
I would not say this is a problem lah, but I've seen some strong sumo lifters.
Yeah.
They are not as upright as some people, right? They pretty much like a mix of sumo and convi.
It's like a hybrid kind of thing lah. Yeah, I mean, like I said, like at the end of the day, it's a matter of like comfort, you know.
Yeah,
so if they're comfortable in that position, then I don't see a reason for them to change, you know.
And then it's because they adapt into that position. So for so many years, so that's why they are stronger in that position lah. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's just that.
I mean like if your form is like really bad, and you've been doing that for years, and I think you have to consider like seeking for advice, you know, trying to figure out what you can do to improve your lifts, you know.
Can you share a little bit of your routine?
Routine?
Yeah, for your sumo deadlift.
Damn. Like I said before, pauses really. Don't just like don't just do like pauses and expect like, oh, okay, I'm gonna get like upright after doing pauses, right? No lah. I mean, you have to, you know, like keep telling yourself to get into a better positioning when doing pauses. You cannot like half-ass it. That's why you're not seeing the results that you want to see. You have to make sure that every single pause that you do is quality. You know, you're forcing yourself to get into that upright position, and you also at the same time you're also making sure that your pause is also solid. You know, you cannot just like half-ass and then like, oh, like I'm gonna like get upright, but then your technique is like shit. Like, you know, good at first rep, second rep is shit, then it's like it beats the purpose lah, that what you said, you know. Just because you've been like you've been powerlifting for like a period of time already, right? It doesn't technique work shouldn't be neglected. Like, it's better to prevent than cure. So I think if you can like make sure that your technique won't break down, then I think, yeah, go ahead. Like, it's a better choice compared to like your technique breaking down. Like, then like you switch to another technique. It's like it's a waste of time.
They keep using that position. They keep using the back pattern, and somehow it will, how to say, it becomes a habit, like, and later in the end, like,
Yeah.
closer to
Yeah.
competition, they will use
Because
that.
you're used to it, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. So
Yeah.
you have to back down, like you said, focus on the quality.
Yeah.
Quality, and then quantity comes. Quantity comes after quality. It's all about that. But sometimes
This one
if
is
you
like
focus too much on quality,
Yeah.
quantity is very low.
Yeah. You know how many times I plug in Strength Dojo?
Huh? Seems fun. No.
Yeah, I plug in Strength Dojo a couple of times today, since the beginning of this podcast.
Too many messages, man.
Oh wow!
Too many tags. So
guys,
I
this
didn't notice
is
it.
an example of ungratefulness. Yes, I'm a guest coming onto the show, and then like I plug in his coaching service for free, and then like, wow, he say got message coming in. Wow, okay.
I have a lot of fans. Sorry.
Yeah. Fine. Now
Uh,
I know where our friendship stands, man. I'm a very quad dominant lifter. Be it squats and deadlifts, I'm a very quad dominant lifter. So I've noticed that the heavier I squat, the better I deadlift.
Oh. So you rely a lot on squat and a lot of specificity in deadlift training.
Yeah. So that's why, like, most of the time, I'd say that my squats and deadlifts, the numbers are not similar. It's just that they progress together, But like bench is another different entity. So it's like squat and deadlift progress together, and bench is like separate. So yeah, not to say that my bench doesn't like progress. It's just that it's at a different rate. Yeah.
Like something like me, like how I didn't focus on my deadlift, like something like that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but you'd be shocked. I actually enjoy benching.
You enjoy benching?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I have pretty much a shit bench. But like, I think I have to be more technical with my bench because like I'm already like relatively good when it comes to my sumo deadlift, like technique. If I was still competing, I would be focusing more on my bench improving my technique, making sure that I get into the same positioning over and over again, preventing my technique from breaking down, making sure that I do I perform the lifts properly, to accessory work, don't neglect accessory work. But for squats, I say that one of the best accessory work for lazy people like me is belt squats. I think belt squats is like the bulletproof lazy people accessory work, which is perfect for me. I don't want to like do Bulgarian split squats or like front squats, It's very tiring. I'd rather just like tire myself out setting up for belt squats. You've seen it before.
What if for those people who don't have access to those belt machines?
Leg press.
Leg press.
Basically, another lazy tool for lazy people. Leg press. Yeah, okay, what? You can load up like Ronnie Coleman, 300 kg, 15 reps.
Like, do you do in a wider position or like close stance position?
I would go narrow, closer, just to work on my quads. If you look at me, sorry. If you look at my legs, my quads are like big, but my hamstrings are shit. But like that just comes to show that I focus more on quads rather than hamstring. But I still do like you know, what's that thing called? GHR, GHD, that GHD machine, just to just to keep my hamstrings healthy. You know. Okay, wait. I ask you, how many times do you like work out? Like, do you do like a back workout throughout the week?
I would say almost every session I will have some back work, like especially lat pull downs and pull ups. And
I do like
some days are like back day where I do a lot of rows and more specific back work.
I do like 2 throughout the week, and it's very funny. The reason why I do back is not for my deadlifts, but it's for my bench. It's like I do like seal rows, like dumbbell pullovers, pull-ups as well. Pull-ups is a great exercise. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't do any other back work. I'll just do like pause. Like the more I pause, the better I lift. Like that's pretty much it. I don't have like a secret like a deadlift workout. Like, oh, you do this, then like you gain like 50 kilos onto your deadlift. Like, no, I don't have such a thing. It's just pause. Like pause and normal deadlifts. Pretty much it.
I see.
I've never failed my deadlift with grip. You know, if you pay like attention to my deadlift, right, most of the time I'm not gripping at the knurling. You know,
You grip at the center,
the very smooth surface.
the smoother surface. I see.
Yeah. I've never failed my deadlift on grip. You know, never. And the fact that I'm gripping at the smooth surface, right, it proves that like it doesn't really matter where you're gripping on the bar, and like it doesn't like most of the time when I tell people that, oh, I don't grip at the knurling, and then they're like, wow, like I'm sure you've experienced like your lifts like your grip slipping. Like, no, never. I've never like failed because of grip. Yeah, and partly the reason why I can deadlift like consistently throughout the week, right, is because my hands are not like damaged. You know what I'm saying? Gripping at the knurling, right, can like, I don't know, maybe it can make you feel like slightly more uncomfortable lah. I don't know lah. I'm not like an expert on like knurling and stuff, but like because like I know for a fact that when you grip at the smooth surface, right, that smooth part of the bar, right, it's not the same as like gripping on the knurling, obviously, because like it's smooth. It doesn't do like much damage on your hand, you know. So like my hands are rough, but it's not as rough as compared to like you, like someone who consistently grips on the knurling, you know. My hands are like, you know, rough, but not as bad.
You would suggest to grip on the smoother surface lah. But what about
no. The reason why I can do that is because I follow my shoulder width. It's not because like, oh, like I purposely go inside, you know. Like I always tell people, follow your shoulder width. Don't just like go slightly wider just because like, oh, the knurling is there. At the end of the day, you have to like make sure that you follow your shoulder width, because that's like the most comfortable position.
It's different for everyone. Like for wider people,
yeah.
And for smaller people, they have to grip it.
Yeah, you can't expect a person with like really, really broad shoulders to like grip at the smooth surface. Because like it's like it doesn't make sense. So that's why they need to like you know, like goes like slightly wider. But if your shoulders are really narrow already, like it's not as broad, and then you like purposely go like wider some more, it's not really gonna benefit you. In fact, you're only gonna make it harder. You know, I don't know whether you've heard this cue before. It's like long arms.
Yeah, long arms.
Yeah, you've heard that cue before, right?
Yep.
Most of the time, people misinterpret what long arms really mean. You know, long arms is like that. Basically, what I explained to you is like long arms. like they like obviously has a lot to do with like, you know, like not bending, as in like crunching your upper back, you know, you crunch.
When I heard of that cue, I think of like protraction.
Yeah.
Protraction and just like extend your arms, like
Yeah.
like far as you can and grab
I
the
think
bar.
that's like the first, or like the first part of like that cue. It's not completed, you know. You basically, like, what's the use, right? If like say you protract and then like you purposely grip wider, it beats the purpose, right?
Yeah, true.
Like, you know, like, why would you like, okay, like long arms ready, then like you go and like grip wider? It's like it doesn't make sense, right?
True.
So you have to make sure that it's comfortable. Your position in a very comfortable position, for you to act as an advantage when you lift. You know, long arms it's a cue that is supposed to act as an advantage when you lift. You know, I want everyone to know that at the end of the day, right, it like your uprightness depends on your leverages as well. Say that your arms are like shorter than mine, you can't expect to get into the same position as me. You kind of have to like understand, like, okay, you're limited by your leverages. So as long as you work on your wedge, and as long as you make sure that you're practicing as hard as you can to basically perfect the bottom part of your lift in an upright position, however you'd like to interpret it, then I think it's fine. You don't need to go like like super upright, but then it's like you could like the chances of like to injure yourself is high, you know. It beats the purpose. The comfort and like also leverages lah. So like look at yourself, like go stand in front of the mirror and like, okay, like just analyze yourself, like, oh, I got actually like short arms, like, so I know that I cannot get as upright as Faris per se, you know. You have to realize lah, like, okay, like I cannot get upright as Faris, but at least I can train to get as upright as possible for my body. Like you cannot have short arms and say like, oh, I want to get upright like Faris, but then like when you don't get as upright as like Faris, then you get disappointed because you're not as upright as Faris. You know, you have to go and like see lah whether your body, whether you're capable of like getting into that kind of position. You know. Also, I want to say I'm not like a certified like personal trainer or like certified like powerlifting coach or anything. So if I said anything wrong or like not factual, I apologize on my part, but this is basically my experience with like sumo deadlifting. But I hope that it benefited someone out there. Maybe Faris too.
Okay, yeah, I learned a lot today too.
So instead of you becoming the senpai, I'm the senpai, right?
Yeah, thanks to Nick Senpai for joining us today on episode 2.
Do I get like discount for discount code for
discount code?
Discount code.
There will be some discount code next week, and we'll give it to you first.
Where? Here.
Yeah. Here. Take it.
Yeah.
Right.
Discount code is Fit-T Detox Dojo.
Okay, I think that's it for today's episode. See you guys next time.
Thanks so much, Faris, for inviting me and like not appreciating the fact that I gave him like multiple plugs for strength dojos.